Picking up at Game 6, candidates 1965 between Mikhail Tal and Bent Larsen. This game, Tal has the white pieces, Larsen has the black pieces, and I hope you're following the whole series because then you can see like the build up and the strategy, and the opening choices and stuff. It's pretty interesting. We've had a true clash of titans here. The last game was won by Larsen, and, he's taken a 2-1 lead in the match, and so now it is Tal to serve with the white pieces. So e4 from Tal, knight f6 from Larsen. This is the second time we see this opening. The first time Larsen played it, he actually had almost won the game against Tal. He had a nice advantage where Tal was able to defend, but he probably should have won, as I showed in that analysis. Nevertheless, he drew, and here we are in game 6. So e5, knight d5, d4, d6, knight f3. Larsen takes, and knight takes e5, e6, and queen f3 here. There's different things that can be played here. c6 can be played, um, g6, but okay, e6 is played. Queen f3, okay, threatening mate, of course. Uh, Queen f6, and of course this is Tal here. He's not going to trade the queens. Queen g3, threatening bishop to g5. So h6, and now knight c3. This provocative move is knight b4 is now played. Bishop b5 check from Tal, c6, and then he uses that tempi to protect the pawn on c2. Knight d7 from Larsen. And now an interesting move would have been queen f5, trying to step up the pressure on c2, but I like the move just castle, giving up the pawn, and this is probably, you know, a line that Tal would have opted for, being in his style of playing dynamically. And White has great compensation and has a good advantage for the pawn. Larsen just kept developing. Knight d7. He wants to just remove the knight out of the powerful e5 square. So castle, knight takes, d takes, and now queen g6. Again, offering the queen trade again. Now, this gives a good insight on the style of Tal. A lot of other players would have played queen takes g6, right? Get a nice pawn structure here. Play a move like knight e4, and say, for instance, bishop d7, a3, knight d5, knight d6, bishop takes, e takes, castle c4, and there's really nothing to worry about here for White. White has a nice solid position. Let's say after knight b6, b3, and let's say after c5, for instance, here rook e1, and White has good potential to win this game. There's pressure here. This bishop is kind of stuck here for now. So let's say he brings this rook here. Yeah, just play moves like bishop e3. Black has a lot of weakness in this pawn structure in this position. So there's a lot of targets for White to attack, and he has the two bishops here. Good chances, of winning. Right? It'll take some technical work, but still good chances of winning. There's only two results here: either draw or White victory. And a lot of players, you could imagine, would take this approach, and there would be nothing wrong with it. I could picture Smyslov or Botvinnik, somebody like that, playing in this manner. Tal rejects this continuation. Plays move queen f3. He wants to keep the pieces on the board. Queen f5. Larsen offers another trade. Again, here's a chance to damage the pawn structure, although it wouldn't be as drastic as in the first line. Tal again plays queen e2. So losing some time, but keeping, um, the heavy pieces on the board. Bishop e7, a3, kicking the knight out. And now, again, here's Tal just, just playing amazing chess. I love this move right here because the moves at first look, like crazy. You'd be like, who would do this move? But then once you see the follow up, then you're like, oh. So like again, looking at this position, Black's position looks solid enough. I mean, you definitely don't want to play knight takes d5, e takes d5. It's like that's great for Black. Bishop d2, like really, Bishop d2 castle. Okay, Black is equal. Um, Here Tao comes up with this move, knight b5. Just incredible. And he just gives up the piece. C takes b5, queen takes b5. Check. The idea, of course, is that the king can't go here because he gets checkmated at the queen e8. Of course, you can see he can't play bishop d7. He would just, queen takes d7. So the only move is what was played in the game is king d8, right? So, I doubt that Tao saw everything, but he just probably had a generalized picture in his mind. Okay, queen, queen checks, king is stuck in the middle of the board. Black rooks are undeveloped, and I have the open D file, so I should have chances here. So the king d8, c4, booting the knight, and now Larsen just took the pawn. He played queen takes e5, and he wants to give the piece back. He realizes he's in danger here. It's very counterintuitive to play a move like knight b6 and open up the d file for the rook to come in with check. But this move does, threaten to take off the bishop, the minor piece, and say after queen a5, try to, pin the knight. King c7. Let us say c5. King b8. You have c takes here. A takes. And then queen b5 due to the fact that if queen takes b6, rook will take the bishop on a4. Rook a4. a5. Queen b3. And now queen takes e5. And you have this game which is double edged, and you start seeing the black pieces come out. Okay, so knight b6 was probably the only move that could really, give Larsen a chance here. But extremely counterintuitive to play like that. Just your king's right on the open d file, and you already have limited squares to go. So he just decided to give back the piece and then try to keep the position closed. So queen takes e5, c takes d5, and play bishop d6, threatening mate. And of course, if f4, then just simply queen takes d5, offering to trade the queens again. So in Larsen's mind, he keeps the d file closed, so the king is, somewhat protected. And he played logically, so to speak. Whereas the only thing that will save him is a concrete variation. Knight b6, an exact variation. But that was counterintuitive. So just great psychological play by Tal here. g3, and now queen d5. Does he allow the trade of queens here? Nope. He plays queen e2. Because now the rook is coming to d1. So king gets out of dodge. King e7, rook d1. Queen a5, and now queen g4. Offering the trade again. Tal's like, nope. Queen c4. Offering the trade again. Nope. Queen d3. Queen d5. Queen c3. Just keeps putting the pressure on. Bishop e5. Tal plays queen e1. Queen c5. Bishop d2. Threatening bishop b4, where the fork would pretty much end the game. King f6. Now rook ac1. So we see again a development lead by white. Black cannot get his pieces in the game. The rest of the pieces in the game. Bishop e3, queen a6, queen b4. B5, and then the game is just over here. Queen B7, F4, Bishop B8, and then Bishop. then Tal says, "Okay, you want the queen trade? Go ahead, Bishop." By playing Bishop C6, and Larsen resigned. So just devastating win, explosive win here in Game 6 by Tal, and this tied up the match at 2 games apiece with 2 games left. Devastating victory, very strong showing by Tal against a very a strong player.